How's it going, people? So, I wanted to come back on here. I want to jump on real quick with you. I've got me an order going on. I'm getting ready to do some Walmart Spark. I got a shopping order I'm going to be doing. I'll post it above somewhere. It's $17.70 for 6.3 miles, and it's only 7 items, and it's going to be pretty quick. But I kind of wanted to jump on here real quick and talk to you about something. So, I was talking to my wife the other day about this. I really wonder sometimes if maybe the gig work, as far as which you guys know, the ones that do gig work, you kind of have an idea that when the orders come in. So I think it's more of, instead of a tip that they put on, as far as the customer pays you, I think it's more of a bid. I really do. I think of it as a bid. Because when I look at it, I'm like, okay, if I was a customer, which I've ordered on, you know, DoorDash and Walmart Spark and all this stuff, and I've told you kind of how I tip myself. I try to tip at least $2 a mile, because it pays for the time to come back, especially where I live, because there's nothing else out there. So that's why I kind of tip the way I do. But when I set that tip, I personally think, as a customer, I think of it as not necessarily a tip. I think of it as a bid. I think of it as an opportunity for me to get a good driver or a delivery person. That's how I look at it. I'm hoping that when I pay more money with a bid, that tip, that whoever takes it will take my order more seriously. I really do look at it like that, because if I'm tipping somebody, let's say, because my house is about 5 to 6 miles away, so I am going to tip at least $12 to $14. At least that's what I tip per order. So that's not including if I put something on top of it because of because they do an excellent job, they get it to me quick, or whatever the situation is. They're nice. I talk to them, because there's times I'll talk to the drivers to see how they are, see how everything's going and stuff like that. I'm weird like that. I'm kind of a nerd. I like to talk to people. My wife thinks it's odd, but that's what I do, because I want to know, because I'm part of that community. You know what I mean? I want to know. So when I look at a job, when I'm doing DoorDash or if I'm doing Walmart Spark, I look at that tip. Okay. And I'm not looking at that tip as a tip. I'm looking at it as if this customer really wants me to pick up this order for them. The more than likely, I'm not going to take an order that doesn't have a tip. I mean, DoorDash is going to have to pay me pretty good, or Walmart Spark's going to have to pay me pretty good for that delivery fee for me to take that order. So I might do those big bulk orders just because of the fact that, they pay pretty good whenever I get them. But that's how I look at it. And then another thing I was thinking about, sometimes when you turn down an order, and I'm sure some of you drivers do this, you might get an order that's, let's say, $7 for 3 miles. Okay. Some people might actually take that order because that's a pretty good order, right? For some people. Other people won't take that order because it's just not where they want to do, or whatever the situation is, because they don't want to do it. So what they do is they'll turn that order down. They'll decline it. And then after that, you wait to see if you get another good order. You wait to see if you have a better order come through, right? It's almost like once you get that big order, you get excited, right? It makes you excited, and you're like, oh, I got a big order now. So this is a good thing, blah, blah, it gives you kind of a rush. It really does. Like that one time when I got that $100 order, that was a big rush for me. I was like, whoa, that's the reason I had to make a video about it, because that was like huge order for me. That's called dopamine. That's coming into your body, into your brain system, and making you feel good. because you got a good order. It makes you happy. And that's what happens with these gig apps. And that's how these companies know how to get you trapped in it and get you addicted to it. And there's sometimes that I'll do that myself. I'll wait until I get that big order and I'm like, oh, and then I don't get it. And I'm like, crap, I should have took that other order down. You know, then I get that down, you get it down. But then you get a big order come through and then you get all happy again. It's a rush. It's understandable, but it's chemicals in your head that makes you excited when you get that big order. So they kind of get you hooked when it comes to that stuff. But it's nice because then, you know, you get a big order, but then it's down if you don't get a big order. Has anybody else ever had that situation? Um, there's times I'll just take a small order just because the fact that I don't know if I'm gonna get a big order or not. But it's so funny the way that these apps will treat you and make you think maybe possibly you might get a better deal down the road, and you're giving up a really good deal that you could have made money off of, but because you think that you can make more money, maybe if you wait a few more minutes, then you just lost an opportunity. So yeah, they kind of, it's almost like they train you to where you want to take that smaller order because you don't know if you're going to get a bigger order or not. But then when you get a bigger order, it's like, oh, you get so excited because you got that bigger order. So it makes you want to do more. Yeah, it's pretty funny the way it works. It almost feels like sometimes that you're gambling. You know, there's some people out there that might have that type of addiction who like to gamble. And unfortunately, they might use this as a way to keep from having to do gambling. Which in the long run, which might be a good thing because you're not losing that money, but also it could be a bad thing because you don't want to get addicted to an app, to a situation. Now, if you're doing it full time and this is the only job that you have and this is your income, that's a little different. But if you're doing this like as a side hustle and you start seeing yourself getting to where you can't control on whether or not if you can take an order, if you can't take an order, if I can get a better order, and you start getting really stressed out, it's time to take a break. Like I said in the last video, as far as taking a break, sometimes you just got to take a break. So that's the thought of the day today. I hope everybody has a good day today. I'm getting ready to go do that shopping order. So make sure you stay safe out there if you're doing deliveries. Keep your head on a swivel and always take the orders that make sense to you. And if you like this content and you like what I said, please like and subscribe. And also make comments down below. I like to hear your guys' comments. It's so interesting to hear what other people are doing in their areas when they're doing, if Uber Eats is more more busier in their area than what it is in my area. It's kind of cool to hear this stuff. You know, some people, DoorDash is a lot more busier or whatever, you know, whatever app you're doing. So thank you for subscribing. And also thank you for watching me. I really appreciate everybody that watches. And I hope you guys learned something. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Let's go.
Let's go.